Ooh, welcome everyone to another episode of Slasher Scotty. I am your host, Scotty McCoy, and boy, do I have a surprise for all of you. I have on Zoom with me right now Sanae Loutsis. Did I pronounce that correctly?
Loutsis, oh, so
Loutsis. I
close.
knew I was gonna get it wrong. Sorry about that. So Loutsis, and she played Rose in the Friday the 13th fan film titled Roseblood. Hey Sanae, how you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm so glad to have you on. I know I had Peter Anthony on, and he set me up to get in touch with you, and I'm so glad that you agreed. And here we are. We made it happen.
Yeah, well, I'm excited to be here.
Awesome, awesome. So the first question I got for you is, how did you get your start into acting?
It was a pretty unconventional start, I must say. I was not one of the kids that was necessarily super into acting. Like I was like, oh, this is what I want to do. Not that I didn't want to do it, but
Right.
I was randomly like at the mall on Halloween, and these people approached my parents, and they're like, "Wow, your daughter, she's so cute. Like she should get like go into this program that we have." And they're like, "Oh, okay." And they're like, "How old is she?" And I was a year too young at the time, so they maybe not really the best decision, but a good decision in the long run. But they
Yeah.
gave them their phone number so that I could contact them once I was a year older.
Hmm.
A little bit of an iffy thing, cybersecurity. I don't know about that, but
Yeah.
they had to give it to him, and we got in contact a year later, and
Nice.
I got in touch with this program. And first it was modeling, and then I moved into acting, and
Mhm.
well, now we're here today, I guess. So.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And I mean, you did great in Roseblood. You played obviously the leading title of Rose. So how did you happen to sign on to play Rose in this film?
So I met Peter on on set of Vengeance,
Hmm.
and he saw my work in Vengeance, and it was like fine, it was good, but when I did that, he told my dad, mostly because him and my dad have become really good friends, and so they were talking, and Peter was like, I don't know, I see more in Sanae. I think she can do more. And that Vengeance didn't really quite let me do as much as I could have. Didn't let me reach my full potential, if you may say.
Hmm.
And so he made Roseblood, and partly with like the intention of having me be Rose. So um, I was very grateful for that,
Awesome.
obviously, and how much he trusted me and saw that in me. And it was so much fun. Oh my gosh.
Oh my God, it's a really good film, and it's just it was really good. Like there were so many aspects that I didn't expect, including uh I guess you being the embodiment of evil and unleashing Michael Myers on people that kind of provoked you, which was exciting. So, what did you think of that you were like this key to Michael Myers, so to speak?
Oh, like the first time when I read the script all the way through, as I was like going through it, and you may know, you may not know, I'm not like necessarily the hugest Friday the 13th fan. I just like I wasn't necessarily into them before I got into this.
Hmm.
So like reading through the script, like I know there's a few details of like how cool it is, and like in the Friday the 13th like lore and
Hmm.
whatnot, but I didn't get all of that.
Hmm.
But I know Jason Voorhees, and I also know Michael Myers. So once I like got to the ending, I was like, "Oh, no way! No,
That's
you did not just do that. What?" And I literally like ran downstairs to my dad because he had already read it, and I was like, "Did you like read the ending, Dad? Like that was the coolest one." And I was so excited about it. Like pretty much, that was like definitely one of the things that
yeah.
got me even more excited about
Hmm.
the whole thing, because I was already excited. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that was a big twist I did not expect, to be honest with you. That was a really nice twist, and it was a way to bring in a Halloween, obviously the Halloween killer into a Friday the 13th film without having them like cross realms into like the lore of the Halloween franchise as well. So it kind of worked out. And I mean, Peter told me some of the like the signs that they had, like when you were taken into the room and the butcher knife came through the wall. Like I didn't catch that as being Michael Myers at first, but when Peter mentioned, I'm like, holy crap, are you serious? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, oh, I have to go back and watch that. That's actually pretty cool. So I guess like what did you, when you first saw the script, I know you spoke about the ending and everything, what were your initial thoughts on the overall writing of the script and the overall premise of it?
I was so excited about it. It was very refreshing to read
Hmm.
that, because obviously, having done Vengeance, that was way more closer to like a classic Friday the 13th film, which
Right.
is, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that, and it was great as well.
Hmm.
But reading Roseblood, I was just like, what is going on? Like, this is not what I was expecting, but in literally the best way possible. Like, I'm like reading it, I'm like, okay, literally, where's Jason? Like, where are we Friday the 13th? Like, all these characters and stuff. I was like,
Yeah.
okay, but and also, I mean, I'll just be honest, like when I first read through it, I was excited about that aspect of it, but I also was a little bit like nervous. I was like,
Hmm.
okay, I'm not quite sure how it's gonna come across. Like,
Hmm.
I have full faith in Peter though. I was like, I know this man has a vision and he like knows what he wants to do, and it's always a good thing. So,
Right.
um, and it certainly did turn out really well. So I was glad.
Absolutely. So speaking about Peter, how was he as a director?
Peter was amazing as a director. I mean, what can he do, honestly? I mean, I read the script and I was like, okay, Peter, writer, check. And obviously in like Vengeance, he did some acting, and in
Mhm.
Roseblood, he did some amazing acting as well. I was like, actor, check. And then it's like we get on to director, and I'm just like, okay, man, like what? Like you got all the boxes checked. Like what the heck, man?
Right, jack of
But
all
no, and
trades.
I think seriously, like him and Jason Brooks both, like
Yeah.
those two guys, I don't even know.
Yeah.
Uh, they're just crazy. But
Yeah.
no, like I was really impressed because obviously I've worked with quite a few directors at this point, and he was definitely like up on the list. Like
Right.
uh I think having like the background experience of both
Mhm.
uh being an actor, I think you get probably a lot of like better understanding of what to
Mhm.
tell your actors. So I'm sure that that helped a lot.
Yeah.
And also him having been on Vengeance, and
Mhm.
Vengeance was great, but it had its downfalls. So he got to
Mhm.
learn from that as well, I'm sure. And obviously,
Yeah.
he's just a smart guy in general. So
Absolutely. So you most of your scenes were done with Jessica Hoffman, who played Tina Shepard from the year 1989. So what was it like working with her?
oh my goodness, Jessica is just so lovely. I love her so much. We certainly grew like a
Mhm.
very like real type sisterly bond,
Yeah.
almost. And she was just the sweetest, kindest, most amazing person. Also, just so talented. Like
Yeah.
literally one of her like, or is it her first? I don't even know. But it's at least one of her first like acting roles at
Yeah.
all. And she freaking killed it. Um,
Yeah.
like I know she only had like Laura there to like help her, which was
Mhm.
also amazing that Laura was like willing to do that. And so she like
Yeah.
gave her guidance and whatnot. And man, she just
Yeah.
killed it out of the park.
Absolutely.
And just the sweetest little thing. And also her music, her
Yeah.
singing, so uber talented, so good. Like when they first shared like the song that
Mhm.
she made for the end credits, or I
Mhm.
was like, oh, there's no way that she made this song. There's no way. You had to have this like made by like somebody. So
Yeah.
cool.
Yep, absolutely. So speaking of Laura, did you happen to meet Laura Park Lincoln, Kevin Spiritus, and Terry Kaiser at all on set?
Yes. I don't think I met Kevin on set. I think just like the days that we were on set, like they
Mm,
were not the same days. So I don't think
okay.
I ever actually met him. And I was also in school, I think, when they were on set, so I was just like not there. But I definitely did meet Laura and Terry, and I got the chance to like talk with them while we were on set, and they're just, oh my gosh, they're such amazing people.
Mhm.
And obviously for me, I mean, Weekend at Bernie's, Terry Kaiser. I mean,
I
like
know.
that
Yeah.
that was pretty cool because,
Yep.
as I previously said, Friday the 13th, not that I don't like it, I just am not like, I don't know everything about it, but
Right.
like that was something I did know, and I was like, all
Yep.
right,
I had
a
Terry
little bit
Kaiser
further.
on my show before Roseblood was even thought of, to be honest with you. This is going back a couple years ago. And he's like one of my favorite parts, like, of Friday the 13th, part 7, the New Blood. And to have him on my show was really cool. And he had so many funny stories to tell. And he was telling me the story, and Laura Park Lincoln told me the story as well when I had her on. But they were telling me the story about how when they were filming Friday part 7, they had crocodile and rattlesnake wranglers, because where they were filming, they were in like a swamp area that was infested with crocodiles and rattlesnakes. And Laura was telling me that the rattlesnake and crocodile wrangler was like in his 80s, and he could barely get the gun up quick enough to shoot a crocodile or a rattlesnake when they got close. And then Terry Kaiser said that he did a stunt, and he got shoved when he got shoved to do the stunt, because they didn't have enough money in the budget to get a guy to do the stunt for him. He had to do his own stunts. So when Jason did the shoving, his head landed close to a crocodile, and there was crocodile wrangler almost didn't get a chance to shoot it. Yep.
Oh no.
Yeah, so that was
Wow.
pretty interesting. That was pretty interesting. But
I
yeah,
definitely didn't get that story from him, but that's,
yeah.
oh.
Yeah, it was quite interesting with him saying that. Like, I couldn't believe it. And I mean, and then Laura's like, this guy's like in his 80s, and he's like, and he's the one that's supposed to save us from these things.
Uh,
But that's just funny. But that's what happens in like really low budget films, especially when you're filming in the swamps of Alabama at the time. Yep.
yeah,
Yeah,
that, oh, crocodiles, that's a no
that's a
from
no
here.
no. Yeah, that's a no no. I'd be saying see you later, crocodile.
Yeah.
But in disc. So but when we seen Tina, adult Tina, in the beginning, and then it goes into the back into the flashbacks, and obviously then we see Rose with a young Tina. um Obviously Tina's separated from where she was, and we don't know where Rose, like, we don't, obviously there was no Rose in that area, so either there's one of two things that happen: either A, she dies, or B, she's somewhere else completely, which you would think more so she died, because first of all it's a slasher movie, and second of all, like, this is the main character, the title character of this film. Like, there's no way she's not going to die. Like, she's just going to be gone randomly. So obviously it was A, she died. So how was your death scene filmed and prepped? Like, and how was it shooting it? Like, did they do any prosthetics? How was all that done?
Honestly, that was on, I think, our last day of filming pretty
Okay.
much. And boy, oh boy, was that a crazy day. It was like many, many, many hours. A little bit too many hours. More than honestly I can count on two hands. So yeah. But yeah, I remember like reading it and I was like, oh man, I'm dying. That sucks. But yeah, it was literally the last thing that we did on that day too. Or yeah, because I literally, it was the sun rose after we did that, and it was like 6 in the morning or something. And I was like,
Yeah.
oh wow, I would have been going to school now if I was going to school. But obviously I didn't go to school because that would be, yeah. Anyways,
Yeah.
but doing that was really fun for me because at that point I had like never died in a film, so I was
Mhm.
actually a little bit nervous. I was like, I've kind of never died before, definitely not in real life, and I haven't on screen yet. So, uh, And honestly, it went by so quickly because everybody else was just like kind of on it. They were like, okay, I know what we're gonna do. Like, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that. And I was like, okay, whoa. And I think we only filmed it like 2, maybe 3 times, like not very many times. They were just like, oh, that was really good. All right, we're good with that.
Nice.
But no, it was really fun. To get me like, because he kind of like stabbed me, like I got like lifted up. They stuck me on this like wooden board. I think it was literally like a 2x4 or something,
Okay.
and I was like sitting on it, and we had like 2 people on either side, and they just like lifted me up, and then I'm just
Nice.
kind of like or whatever, and like dying. And then it was so amazing. I think it was it. I I don't even remember, but then they were like, look at Jason. And so then we both like looked at each other. It was just such like a last minute idea of like
Yeah.
what to do. That turned out looking so cool.
It did.
Yeah.
It really did.
That like wooden 2x4,
Yep.
my dad, he was like there. And when they first described this to him, he got so mad because he thought I was standing on the board and that they would be lifting me up while I was standing so that I would like kind of like fall essentially. And so he got so mad about that. And then because we were all sleep deprived, and then they were like, no, she's sitting on it. It was like,
Nice.
oh, okay, you guys are good. Go ahead and do your thing. So, yeah.
Nice. So what was the best part about filming Roseblood and what was the worst?
Oh,
Hot seat.
that's a tough question. There were so many good parts. My favorite part though was when the scene where Peter or the general gets his eye like
Yeah.
with glass in it. What kind of injury is that? Eye poked? Yeah, eye poked.
Yeah, I will go with eye poke.
Yeah, eye poked. That's definitely the scientific name for it, I'm sure.
I'm
But
sure there is.
right. So with that scene, like in the script, very different because
Mhm.
I think Peter said it before, but like that was he was supposed to have the eye patch on the whole time, so we kind of had to like make up why he wore it like in the end or whatever. So like that whole scene was like completely like changed around and stuff from what it was originally, but it was so much fun because some of my favorite like people and characters were in that room because it was Peter, me, Jessica, and then Strang, which was so much fun because I mean, me and Jessica were just like making fun of those two and like having a
Right.
blast. And, obviously in the scene, we didn't play the games that much, but originally we were supposed to be playing the games, but then like waiting on set, we just like start playing games and we just
Nice.
had a lot of fun with it because obviously we had to improvise a little bit with having to add that in. So a lot of it was just kind of like going with what was flowing. So
Right.
that's always really fun as an actor because you
Nice.
kind of get to have some fun with it. And but yeah, hardest or worst part, or I would have to say probably just in general, like the really long days. Because there were some like double digit number days that were like in the teens, and I was,
Yeah.
those are never really that fun.
They're not that fun. And most of it's waiting on set to do your stuff.
Right. And then at least for me, because I am younger and I'm still in high school, it was kind of also like the after effect of like, okay, now I have all this homework to do. And it's like just piled up very quickly. So having to do like those two kind of things on set wasn't like great. But I mean, there just genuinely wasn't a lot of like bad parts on the set of Roseblood because everybody on set was just the camaraderie on there was just so amazing,
Yeah.
really just a family on there. But
Absolutely. So the video games that you played, they were, I'm assuming, real video games, like vintage Nintendo games. That's awesome. I'm a big Nintendo fan. Wearing my Mario shirt.
I love it.
And I have it right here, my matching hat.
Ooh, I
I got
love the matching.
Yeah, I got that at Nintendo World, and I have somewhere around here. I have my Luigi shirt and Luigi hat.
Look at that. Oh my goodness.
Yep.
Have fun.
Yep, I'm a big Nintendo geek. I love it. I just got the Switch, and I'm old school. Like, this is my first like newest gaming console, the Switch, but I'm very old school. I still have my Nintendo 64 that I first bought when I was back in '96. Still works, and I still
Wow.
play it.
That is impressive that you like kept it for so long.
Yep,
Like
it still
I
works.
don't
Still
use
play
it
it.
way
Banjo
too many
Kazooie,
things.
Banjo Tooie, Super Mario 64, Mario Kart 64. I love it all.
Wow.
Yep, I'm
You
a
know,
big
I actually have
Nintendo.
a confession to make. I mean, it was probably obvious in the movie, but I had never played those games before. That's kind of why Rose was stuck. I'm not
Yep,
gonna lie. I
yep,
mean, that's why Sanaya was stuck. Rose wasn't stuck. She already played it. She was just trying to find the hidden
yep.
little pathways or whatever. But yeah, no, real
Way
life
before your time, right?
actor Sanae was just stuck because I
Yep,
have no idea how to play those games, and I'm
yep.
never really good at any type of game. But I have the utmost respect for people that can. So
They can be super fun, very challenging. I just got a Paper Mario the Origami King for the Switch not that long ago, and I would be lying if I said I haven't been cheating the whole way through, looking at my phone, looking at how to get to the next level.
I
So
feel
yeah,
that. That
yep.
is
So
totally me whenever I try to play any kind of game. I'm just like, a Google answer key.
yep.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yep, absolutely. So the last question I got for you, do you have any projects in the works that you would like to promote to the listening and viewing audience, as well as any social media accounts or websites to plug?
Ooh, oh boy, do I. I have a few projects coming up.
Okay,
Vengeance 2 is going to be coming out pretty
nice.
soon. I think that's June, some, I
I
don't,
was like in
it's
that
soon.
area. Yeah,
Yeah, somewhere around the like summerish, springish time.
nice.
Honestly, what even year are we in? I keep writing 2021. It's actually really bad. Like I need to fix that. Yeah. Um I have a project that I worked on last year called The Last Sleigh Ride that's gonna be coming out pretty soon. Got a couple projects I'll be working on this year. I
Nice.
have uh yeah, and some social media accounts. I've got a Facebook that you can follow. I've got Instagram, and you can check out my IMDb. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
Awesome. And if anybody wants to see what Sanaya is up to, check out her IMDb, because her IMDb will be updated as projects are added. So, if you're watching this interview a year, 2 years from now, and you come across it and want to see what she's up to, I'm sure her IMDb will be updated with, present, past, and future projects that are in the works. So,
Fingers
absolutely.
crossed. There's lots of things on there when you look at it. That's
Absolutely. Well, I thank you so much for joining me tonight. This is the latest I've done an interview at 9 o'clock. And when I was setting up the interview with your dad, I was like, you know what? We need to make, he said it's 9 o'clock good. I'm like, that works for me. I said, usually if it's during the week, I don't go past 8 o'clock because I got to be up for 4:30, but it is the weekend and I'm off tomorrow. So can sleep in. So I'll make it happen.
Oh, well, thank you for accommodating me. And
Of
it was a
course.
pleasure to talk with you.
Absolutely. Thank you. It was very nice talking to you as well. And I'm so glad we got to talk about this. And you have a great rest of your night tonight.
You too. Thank
All right.
you.
Bye.
Bye bye.